What's up, family? This is Dhane Diesil with Billionaire Belief. Thank you for tuning in to another reaction video. Today's video is about turning almost every credit card into plastic gold via the Fresh and Fit podcast. Before we get into the video though, we gotta knock out some housekeeping. First, the current goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers by September of 2021. And the only way I'm gonna get there is with your help. So right now, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and make sure you go ahead and leave a comment and some feedback, just in case, you know what I'm saying, you got something you want to share with your boy, or you want to leave a recommendation for another video. But now that we got that knocked out, let's go ahead and dive into today's video. Let's see what we go learn, all right? Learn with me.
How important is credit in terms of living in today's society? Because I feel like most people underestimate how important credit is. And like you said, you can get things for free basically without any money down using credit.
Yeah, I feel like credit is more important than actually money. Because, okay, if you got credit, let's say if you go in like a Lamborghini lot, you can have a lot of cash, but they're not even going to respect you without the credit. They're going to say, okay, well, you got the money, but have you ever owned a Lamborghini before they really respect you? And if you never own one, you will have to you might as well just pay the whole car off, because they don't really care too much about, they just want you to have the history. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's just like
So
getting a
credit
loan.
history
You
is
go get a
important.
loan, right, and you start paying it, and then versus a person that's trying to get a loan with cash, it got to make sense for the banks. They just want to make sure you got the right history, basically. Credit is very important, you know what I mean? It's just got me a long way.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll stop real quick right there, fresh into the video. But I mean, what he's basically saying is the banks want to see a history of paying money back at the end of the day. That's all the bank really cares about. So if you can establish said history, and as well as keep a good history of paying money back, you know, the banks will look at you a lot more favorable than a person with cash but no history of paying anything back. So you just got to be smart, you got to be strategic, and like I said, we go see what else I got to say about credit, or what else my man has to say about it. I believe his name is Band Man Kevo. I believe that's who my brother is right here. But nevertheless, good game right there. Excellent point. Fact, you know what I'm saying? The bank, it has to make, like you said, it has to make sense for the bank. And what makes sense for the bank is a history of paying money back, which is ultimately what your credit report represents. Let's continue.
And in terms of like business, is it good to have a good credit score?
So you got the personal credit score, then you got a business credit score.
Okay.
So in order for you to actually get a business loan, you need the personal to be, your personal credit need to be high before they actually, because you have to be, like, let's say if you say I need $1 million for my business, somebody has to co-sign, which can be yourself.
Right.
But you actually have to have your business and your personal credit, both of them need to be up to do it. So
Because I feel like most people, like, they say, yeah, I need my credit score up. And they kind of like dwindle on it. Don't really make it a priority.
They don't really, nobody really, it's like they put it last. Then they realize later on when they need it, when it's very like, okay, when you at the car lot, or when you at the bank trying to do something, or when you trying to get the credit card, then you like, dang. Then you start thinking about money again, but you still don't really realize it until you trying to buy a home.
Exactly.
Trying to get a nice car. It's like so much.
I can probably attest to
credit
that.
is always
Like, you
needed
really
everywhere you look when
pay
it's something
attention to
important.
your
You want
credit,
both.
so you're trying to go do something.
House, you need credit.
When I got my last car,
Yeah, the worst part is when you go to buy
I
a
mean,
home.
I didn't really start
and they
paying
tax
attention
you
to
with
my
the
credit
highest
or
interest rate,
figuring
because
out
you
if I had a good
have
score to get a
And
car
also, I want
at
to
that
let
point in
everybody
time.
know how important certain
so I had to
banks
look at my
are.
credit.
Because if you bank in with a great bank, you can actually get a lower interest rate. It's not even really, it's about credit, but you can actually look at City National. You know what I mean? You can get with them and get like a 1-2%, you know what I'm saying, interest rate on something, versus, you know, Bank of America and Chase, they are a bigger bank, so they don't really care to have to look out for you.
Damn.
Unless you are, you Chase private client or something like that, then they
Then
do
will.
you a little bit better.
Okay.
But they see how
Makes
in
sense.
order to be a Chase private client, you need more money, right?
It all ties into it.
You get what I'm saying? So like other banks will look out for you depending on what bank. Credit unions a little bit better than the actual bank, but
Okay. And credit cards. Tell
Yeah,
them.
of course. Yeah, no. And I think, why we're so happy to have you here is like a lot of people look at credit kind of as like, oh no, credit's evil. It's gonna mess you up. Like it's gonna ruin your life. Blah blah blah. And it's
A lot of
reality
people
is
have a
if
very
you know how to
negative
use it
sentiment.
correctly and leverage it, it actually
But you
gets you a
can't
lot
use
of
it
things like
correctly and
you said
leverage it.
before, where you can finesse the system and get assets without necessarily putting your own money down.
So the main thing is that you should actually be able to save your money in your banking account and use the credit to get ahead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
so if I want a house, they say 10% down. You get a house for 10%, and after you get the house, let's say if you Airbnb the house, you can Airbnb the house every day and let the house pay for itself. So let's say if the
Facts.
mortgage is $3,000, and if you get $3,000, $2,000 a day, depending on what type of home it is. Let's say if it's a mansion in like Georgia or somewhere, it's cheap, right? $3,000 a day, you might be able to pay your rent up for the whole year, and the house is going to eventually pay for itself, all off of credit. Now your money is still stacking in your account.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like the main goal is not to
play the
have to
game,
spend your
man.
banking account money.
Like I said, improve your financial
So
literacy.
you
use other
use
people's money.
exactly. You use
This is-
credit.
like I said, this
you
is-
use credit cards.
This is new game.
You know what I mean? Like just like okay, I spend $110,000 a month in ads, but I can use my business card, my Gold business card, and they give cash back. So if I spend 100,
Yep.
really I only spent 50.
Yeah.
Damn.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like you have to know these type of things to.
What's the cashback on that one? It's 2%.
Okay, that makes sense.
3%,
Oh,
4%.
wow. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's real good for cashback.
Yeah.
Man. So I'll say this. Can you tell us about leveraging credit to maybe put a down payment on a house in a little bit more detail? Because I know that's like a really fantastic way to get yourself into a home without necessarily having the capital in your own bank
So
account.
I post a lot of stuff on my Kevo Fans, Kevo Connects, and OnlyFans about credit. So people be like, okay, what is the first step to start on, getting my credit up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I always tell them that you should look at what's on your credit first, because you might have a lot of stuff that needs to be removed as far as old addresses, a lot of inquiries. A lot of people got student loans. So I feel like you should clean your credit first and then build it. And how you build it is by like trade lines, or if you know people who have money that's around you with high limit credit cards, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 credit cards, you can ask to be an authorized user on their credit card. So
Bam.
if, let's say if you guys are friends and he got a $50,000 credit card, you be like, hey bro, can I pay you to be on your credit card for about 4 months? Now he will inherit all your history. You get what I'm saying? Now that just shot your score up, and he's going to, like I said, 50,000. Now he can potentially get a $50,000 credit card because Experian is going to recommend him to a $50,000 credit card.
Now here's the question though: will his credit take a ding by, if I'm the one with the good credit, right,
Yes.
and then I allow him to be an authorized user, will my credit take a ding by allowing him on?
No.
Okay.
So, on Tradeline Supply, they actually offer, this is another secret. On TradelineSupply.com, they actually allow you to sell your trade line. That's how people make thousands and thousands of dollars a month, by going to Tradeline Supply saying, sell my trade line. Your trade line is basically your $50,000 credit card, because that's how you can make money. People don't know that they can make money off having good credit. Good credit pays you in this world today.
Can you tell people what a trade line is? Because I know a lot of people might not know what that is.
Okay, a trade
What is
line
a
is
trade
somebody
line?
else's credit history that you can actually purchase. So if somebody had a credit card since 2010 at $50,000, you can actually go purchase that limit and that credit limit, on a website basically.
Okay.
That's all it really is. They call it a trade line, but it's really an authorized user.
Yo, you know what's funny? When I first came to America, right? I went on my aunt's credit score. Basically, she had like an 820, right?
Yeah.
I had no credit history. That boosted me up so much, bro. And then when I got off her credit line, literally I had like a 710 off rip after like 6-7 months. Crazy to me, bro.
So what? Another way that, because trade lines,
I got some work to
the credit bureau is starting to catch on to trade lines, right? So the credit bureau respects primaries. Have you ever heard of primaries?
Can you tell people what a primary is?
So primaries are
Educators.
sites that sell things like, let's say Home Depot, right? They will have a membership fee. Like you become a member for $20 a month and buy stuff off my site, and in our favor, we will report $5,000 a month to your credit constantly for a year, 2 years, 3 years.
Damn.
You know what I mean? And that's called a primary, because trade lines you buy and they only stick for like 3-4 months. They fall off unless it's your friend and he could take you off whenever. But if you buying it off a site, they don't keep you on there that long.
Oh, so you
get
can
what I'm
only you're basically paying
Renting.
to rent a line
Exactly.
that has a higher limit. Is that for the sole purpose of maybe you're going to apply for some credit cards at that time to help you?
This the only thing good trade lines are good for. When when you know, because you got 2 to 3 weeks before they hit. So if you buy it and it hits, you go get your car, go get your home, or go get your credit card
Right
as soon
there
as
and
it
then.
hits.
Okay.
Because you don't really have too much time, because
Yeah.
it's a site where if I give them my information and say, hey, y'all can add 10 people on my credit card, but I don't want them on there longer than 2 months or a month. You get what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So they're going to pay me, and then the people take my credit or whatever, you know?
Gotcha.
Damn, everything is a
makes
hustle.
sense.
So okay,
Damn,
so
that's
basically it
crazy.
allows
now
people
obviously do
a
your own
finite amount
research,
of time,
you know, do
typically
your own
shorter,
homework
to be able to go
you know,
out there, apply
gotta
for
do your
whatever
own
they
due
couldn't get
diligence,
before,
but as far as
and be
receiving
able to
some
get
good
a
game, like
approval
this
for
is
a
some
home
good
or
shit.
Now, like I
loan,
said,
whatever.
though, people are starting to catch
Oh,
up.
gotta add over.
On to trade lines. They feel
Yeah.
like everybody is like jumping on the trade lines. So you mix primaries with trade lines.
Bam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you mix it up, it's just like, oh, you got this. Like you got a whole lot of different memberships, a whole lot of different trade lines. Some people just get one. I usually get 3, 4 trade lines. You know,
Okay.
along with going to get secure credit cards, because you can actually go in the bank if you got cash, $10,000 cash, just get a $10,000 credit
Yeah.
card, and it's secure, so it's still your money, but it makes it look better to the person that's pulling your credit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That
You know
you
what I
have
mean?
that.
So,
And now with the primaries, is this like basically? I guess maybe it's a credit card that comes through, let's say like a jewelry company or
Exactly.
or a Macy's credit card or
Yep.
something like that. It's typically issued by some, I guess, retail store or
but
something like
a
that.
lot of the primaries right now, like Shop Simplio or My Jewelers actually been up and down. They've been reporting and taking off and taking on and taking off.
I saw your video on that one.
Yeah, so the thing about you can actually go on there, sign up, and buy some jewelry, and they report $5,000.
This is pretty interesting.
And it shot your point up. I mean, it shot your credit up at least 60 points. But a lot of people catching on to that. Then it was credit strong. A lot of people catching on to that. So they got a whole lot of primary sites that people don't know about. I was thinking like, man, if I come out with a site you can sell something to somebody and build a credit at the same time, you're instantly probably gonna be a billionaire.
That's gangster right
You know
there.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I know
seriously.
My Jewelers gotta have ran up some billions.
Yeah. Had to have.
They had to.
So okay, so I guess so the strategy that you're kind of telling people is, number one, they got to clean their credit, which I was going to ask you about that too. So clean their credit
This is
first
great.
before they build it up through the trade lines and the primaries.
Clean your credit.
How would you say, and I've seen you talk about this before in your videos, but I want the people to hear this. How would you say people need to, I guess, clean their credit history, get rid of those inquiries and everything else
So
like that?
with credit cleaning, that's what this the reason why I even came out with this. So there's a lot of people out here who claim they clean credit. They be like, oh well, I gotta look at your credit and I'll clean it and give me 5,000, 4,000, whatever, and then they'll take 90 days or longer. Sometimes they just take your money. So I say, okay, I started
heard
researching
those.
how to clean credit, like just different people. I was asking different people like, how you do this, how you do that, and I put it all together and now said, look, I'm gonna come out with a credit cleaning course, step by step on how to clean it. So basically, only thing it is just credit cleaning letters, and it's a program that you put all your information through, and basically you check off, and you can do everything from home just to clean your credit. Whatever's on your credit, you can take off. And it's crazy that I'm like, damn, it's that simple. But the person who's selling you to like, oh well, if you need me to clean it up, they make it seem so hard.
Yeah,
but
they
it's
taxing
really
you.
so easy. But they make it seem so hard so they can get that $2,000-3,000 out of you.
Yeah,
because they feel like if you find out, you're gonna be kind of mad. You get what I'm saying?
Facts.
Because you got to understand this: with credit, you're steady going to have to
Save some
clean it
bread.
because it's always going to be an inquiry that's going to pop up on your credit. Always, unless you're like a real credit freak and you just always looking for the soft inquiry.
Facts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's
Exactly.
rare when you're trying to go to get a house or a car.
Yeah.
They always doing hard inquiries, so you got to take that stuff off your credit.
And for the people that don't know, what's a hard inquiry versus a soft inquiry? For
So
the
a
people that
hard
might not
inquiry
know.
is like if a car lot pulls your credit,
Damn, I
that's
gotta
going to be
really
a
look
hard
into my
inquiry.
credit.
A soft
I know.
inquiry is something that's
I
called
mean, I haven't had to find it
pre-approved.
personally.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Make
if
a
you
move,
are
let's just
applying
say, yeah,
for a
I'm
car,
gearing up for a move.
you want to
but
look for the cards
on GP,
that
I gotta
says
get back into the swing of
pre-approved. Those are
things,
all
so I'm
soft
inspired.
inquiries. They're not going to put that hard inquiry on your credit because you don't want 15, 25 hard inquiries on
That'll
your
ding
credit.
you
That looks
bad. You don't.
horrible, and you're going to drop on your
Facts.
points.
Okay.
Facts.
So we'll go ahead and stop it right there. Good game, man. I know I learned some good stuff. So recap real quick. He said obviously trade lines and primary accounts. Trade lines being obviously becoming renting higher people with higher credits. People with higher credit being a authorized user on their account. as well as renting their account to the site. You'll have to do your own research to figure out what said site is. Next was primary. So, doing your own research to find out, like you said, Home Depot's, probably like, the store cards, I would say. Find out what those situations are, and doing what you gotta do. Now, like I said before, you gotta do your own research. Remember, we just finding videos, learning some good game, picking topics, learning some good game, and it's gonna be on us to do our individual homework to make sure that the game is real. But I learned something new today that I didn't know, and now I know I got some more work to do in regards to building my wealth up. So, like you said, we gonna need to have a good credit at the end of the day to build wealth anyway. So, might as well get started right now. So, shouts out Band Man Kevo, shouts out Fresh and Fit Podcast, Myron Fresh, fair use as always. When it comes to these, reacting to these people's videos, but. Like I said, I gotta go ahead and tap into what the rest of his interview is on the Fresh and Fit podcast, see what he's talking about. But Band Man Kevo, you got a new follower, man. You got a new fan. I'm gonna check you out, see what you got, soak up some of your game. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you watching, you do the same. You feel me? So let's make it do what it do. Dhane Diesil out. Peace. Oh yeah, before I forget, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on the video. It's going to take all of us to make any one of us successful, and we begin with conversation and communication. So make sure you don't forget to tell a friend, to tell a stranger, to tell a friend about us. Peace.